That's gotta be Umi and Pure Gold. It's our theme song for Bethany Lutheran College's Esports team, and that, of course, the number one ranked, by the way, in the nation. And we have Coach Seth Grabo in studio with us today. Coach, thanks very much for coming on in.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
I got a couple of issues, which I usually do whenever you come in, because it likes to start things in a contentious manner.
Yep.
So I ask you what you're doing for Christmas. You're pretty much sticking around.
Correct. Yep. I'm from the area.
But on Thanksgiving, you're gone and you miss the program the day after Thanksgiving. No, I got to be honest. It's about the food, and I can live with that. If it's just about the food, I can live with that. How did you miss last week?
I had 2 Thanksgivings back to back, one on the day of, and then one with family the next day on Friday as well. So
that's all right then. I can forgive.
It was for the food. It was for the food. I chose the food over you.
You know, Christmas, I get it. It's just a holiday, but no, Thanksgiving, there's food involved. I got you. So good time. You had a nice time with family and friends.
It was nice to relax.
Good. Now you guys are back. But did you have any?
Nope, we had
Esports tourneys at that time.
No, there was nothing scheduled for Thanksgiving break.
The weekend. Okay,
correct. Yep.
So it was their breaks. You went off Wednesday over the weekend, but correct. Now you're back. Now you're back until when? Because you're going to have the Christmas break coming up.
Yep. So right before Thanksgiving, we're still in our tournament, and we played back to back on Saturday.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, when last we left, people were talking. You're a 64-team tourney.
Correct.
You won that match. You were into 6. No, that's when you left us. We don't even know how that came out yet. That's week 4.
That's what I was getting to.
That's right. All right. Now let's build this up then. So we left our group.
Yep.
This group of wild and creative kids were going to the 64-team tournament for all of the country.
Correct.
Now, that being said, I always say go there. They go to the same room they always go to. This is the nice about this sport. There's no buses involved.
Correct.
Okay. So it's all a home game for them. They're sitting there playing what team in the
Sweet 16. Well, we made it to the Sweet 16 is where we left off.
Oh, that's where we left off. Okay, so
that's where we left off.
So who were we playing?
We were playing NYU, New York University.
Hate those cats.
So they were basically a favorite to win the whole thing coming in.
No way, because I thought you were number 1 ranked. How can they be favored to win this whole thing?
On our half of the bracket. You got to remember. You remember? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So
all right. So we had a tough competition then.
Yep. So we had tough competition. Ended up beating them 2-0. We played best of 3.
They're hacks.
So we had to, right after that, we played McMaster University, which is Niagara Falls area, just on the other side of the border.
The McMaster's Minutemen, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. And
I just made that up.
I think you're actually right. I know. I don't remember.
1 in a million. I pulled that out. Okay, good. No, let's go with that's right. I love the idea that could be right.
Totally. And so we played back to back. We had no time in between. You know, we were playing for 2 hours straight. Literally took a 10-minute.
This sounds like a bad thing
break
coming our way because the team wasn't ready for this kind of intensity.
Correct. Yeah.
Really?
So they
haven't lost all year.
We hadn't lost all year. Played best out of 3. The first game was literal coin toss, like could have gone either way right up to the end. Ended up we had a bad play at the end, kind of cost us the match.
It was the refs, I hope.
It was not.
Always blame the refs. All right.
Yeah. We just made a couple of mistakes going down the home stretch, and then second game you got to shake it off. And I think
we weren't shut out 2-0.
We were shut out 2-0.
Oh no! Now I understand why none of the kids show up. They're not as good as they pretend to be. Really?
They're very talented. We just I don't know. Our mental was not quite right going to that second best of 3, and especially we just made some fundamental mistakes going down the stretch of that first game, and then going to the second game, it wasn't.
It's the chicks, isn't it? They've gotten so popular. The chicks are all over. They can't concentrate. All they're thinking about is getting home for the holidays. Thanksgiving's around the corner, and they can't concentrate through this. Really?
You're not wrong.
I know. Oh man, that is unbelievable. So how far did we drop down the rankings then?
So
we lose in the Sweet 8, the Elite 8.
Elite 8. Yep. So we played the last game, won that. So we took 7th in our preseason. So going in.
Oh, everybody's so proud about 7th.
Yeah, no, not as much as I would have hoped. But our initial goal going in, when we set team goals up on the whiteboard at the beginning of the year, was to make top 8, which we did. So we made our goal. Obviously, going farther is always nicer, but That didn't quite happen.
Way to set the bar low, Coach. Wait, if we can get to the best 8. Oh, okay, great.
There's 300 teams in our division, and then if you count all the divisions, there's over 1,000.
Divisions, how do they divide it up? Because it doesn't matter how many kids are in your school.
Correct. So your division is divided up by your team's average rank. Right, because in this game, I can go in and I can look at each one of my players. Okay. We got number whatever out of 20 million, and they just take that average rank out of our 5 guys.
Why wouldn't you just sabotage for a couple of weeks, get yourself in the number 1 position of the next league down, and just roll on these fools?
Why would you want to do that? That's not fun.
Well, we can only get to number 7. I'm not. Well, who wants mediocrity? I want a trophy. You want a trophy.
I want a trophy. That's true.
But what are we going to do? These kids mentally, I'm going to have to start showing up over there. We're going to have to mess with them. I read the book where Tiger Woods' dad was messing with him as a kid to teach him how to have a mental game.
Yep.
We need to do that.
All right.
We need to get on. Obviously, you can't play 4 video games in a row. Really?
It's not as easy as it sounds, unfortunately.
Well, the thing is, it's not as hard as it sounds either. Really?
Fair.
Everybody. No, let's do this. The Minutemen who kicked us, and they're the Minutemen, 1776.
Yep.
They didn't even have computers there. Their mascot doesn't even understand what the world this is. I guess it's the same with the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
You go down that road.
It's a bad argument.
That's a terrible argument.
That's a dead-end argument.
Cut that out of the tape. All right, so the Minutemen who kicked us, did they not play 2 games just before they played this game?
So their schedule was to play the day before, so they had a whole day in between. We just got a bad luck of the draw.
How about a Gatorade? Oh, I know what it is. That guy that was in there, the captain. Got to start drinking the dew.
Yeah.
See right on the camera there. Drink the dew.
Yeah.
Pick you right up. That's a problem. They don't drink the energy drinks, do they?
No, they don't. Not a one of them.
See, he was in here.
The
other team, the Minutemen, I bet you they're just throwing back the juices.
Yeah, probably.
Coach,
I don't know.
We need the edge.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We have to change. Okay, well, here's what we'll do. I got to do some stuff because they pay me to do stuff. So I'm going to do that. They do.
Yeah, I know how the job works.
It's not like getting rich or nothing, but yeah, I'm doing okay.
I know how the job works.
We'll go to break. We'll come back, and I want to find out what the coach has got in store. Calisthenics, push-ups for messing up. I don't care. You're going to give me the game plan to get this team back up and running. Because right now we're on a 2-game losing streak as far as I can tell.
That's true.
Tell me what you've done for me lately. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole song about that, too, by the way. All right. We'll be back. We've got Umi taking us to break. We're talking with Seth Grabo, of course, coach of the Bethany Lutheran Vikings. Used to be top-ranked squad. Having a tough patch, but we're going to find out how to get back after this at KTOE. I like this song. 1420 KTOE. It's Al and Seth Grabo, of course, the head coach at Bethany Lutheran College Esports teams. I thought they play video games, and seriously, folks, they play video games for a living, and cats are making millions out of it. This is not. This is going to be huge. We're on the cutting edge of that. What else do you do at the school?
I work in the media wing.
That's right.
Under Greg Vandermis. He's the production studio manager. So we do all the media stuff throughout campus, and then broadcast the MSU hockey program, men and women's hockey.
All right, before you get out of here, I want to talk about some of that. But first, because we left with this, your team's on a losing streak.
Technically, yeah.
Well, technically, you either won your last game or you didn't. You're on a streak.
Yeah.
So what does a coach do in your position to turn this thing around?
So that would... Unfortunately, those games ended our preseason, so we won't be playing official matches until next year. So we still have our scrimmages and our practices against other schools and stuff that we schedule. But it's now is the best time to, we got to look at our mental. We couldn't go from school to school back to back. Like
Pops.
Yeah.
Mountain Dews.
We'll have to look.
Energy drinks.
Yeah.
The Pepsi people, give me a call because we're going to hook you up. These kids need Mountain Dew. That's what they need.
Yeah. Yeah, we get game fuel, the Mountain Dew game fuel from Pepsi. Yep.
All right, well, then they need to be drinking some of that.
We got a branded fridge in the room even.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then these cats need to start drinking it. That's all I'm telling you. You don't have downtime in the mental game. This is a mental game.
Yeah, it's very much a mental game.
Okay, so you're going to get on them. How do they practice? You do it. He's got
I'm
a
not
picture
joking.
Of the game fridge. There you All right, well, then these cats, see, it's full. That's the problem. They need a few empty ones out of there. All right, so they need to do a little more of that. What can they practice on that? I mean, can you practice 4 games in a row? Can you practice that?
Yep. So my whole big thing was whenever we play schools, try and schedule, like, even if we don't play the same squad, maybe play their B squad, but just play six straight,
yeah.
With hardly any breaks. If you've got a bad game or something, like, okay, what went wrong? Shake it off. Here we go. Fresh slate. Here we go again.
I know this sounds weird. Cramps. I mean, are you getting cramped hands? And
your wrist gets really fatigued. Yeah, like, yeah.
Hey, go ahead, go on. I had a thing.
No, what's he grabbing now?
I found this, and I said it before. Pro sports injuries are on the rise among video gamers. Mm-hmm. It's a whole story.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's generally seated, they're playing. Esports injuries are on the rise. We're really just now realizing how physically and mentally demanding esports can be, says Dr. Zwebel, who publishes the team's Journal of American Osteoporosis Association. Are you kidding me? We'll talk more about this next week.
Yeah.
I found that. I want to read up on it and find out. No way.
Yeah. No, wrist injuries definitely get to be a major concern. You'll see a lot of like pro players or whatever when they stream, they have like the whole wrist brace to keep their wrist straighter.
Like the bowling wrist brace? Really?
Yeah. It looks just like
it. It's like crossover for the bowl. See, this is how the bowling.
Well, the other thing too is tennis elbow. It's the same injury as tennis elbow. So you got the combination of tennis.
What are you swinging? Really?
Not that, but like this movement. Back and forth, left and right with your whole elbow. It's the same. It's the same movement as tennis.
I'm having a tough time with this, but okay, I get.
You read up your study some more.
I'm gonna read the study. We'll talk about it next week. I want to know. I found it, and I wanted to talk with you about it, but we are going to have time. When we come back, tell us what the next schedule is, and then what's going on at Bethany. Can we do that?
Yep.
Okay, we'll do that coming out of this break.
Most definitely.
It's 3:23. Now I'm concerned. I've been promoting esports, and I didn't know the physical harm that it could have. Football injuries, those are way overblown, that whole concussion thing. This esports stuff, that's where the orthopedic surgeons are going to go from here on out. It's 324 KTOE. KTOE, Al with Seth, and we are talking Bethany Esports. All things esports. They now have the preseason over, and the regular season starts at the first of the year in 2020.
Basically, yep.
All right. So we won't have much more to report there. What else going on? You got a lot going on at Bethany.
Yeah, Bethany's got a lot going on. Busy time of the year. This morning was graduation for fall commencement, so congrats to those grads.
To all of them. That's fantastic.
Yep. Then this weekend is probably one of the biggest events on Bethany's campus throughout the year. It's Christmas at Bethany, the concerts. Yes,
we had some folks on talking about that. That is going to be huge. Now, you're in for the production of that as well? You do that?
Yep. So there's yesterday, today, Saturday, and Sunday. I think almost all of the shows are sold out, last I heard, but fret not. I will be live streaming it on Sunday, so you can catch that on Bethany's homepage.
Oh, nice.
I think we'll also probably be streaming it to Bethany's Facebook page as well, so you can just on Facebook Live.
How great is that? And this will be impressive.
Oh, yeah.
I think your whole chapel's made for music inside it, and that will just be resonated. That'll be fantastic.
Most definitely, yep. So
that's this weekend. Don't you also have hockey this weekend?
Yeah, there's hockey. That's where I'm headed right
just out
after
of curiosity, how do you take all your equipment down to the hockey rink and do hockey, and then how do you also do you have enough equipment for all that?
It's an overnighter.
What are you, CBS or what?
That's an overnighter job right there.
Really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, this is the heat of the season for you then. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, stream graduation this morning, then hockey.
And in the afternoon,
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon is Christmas.
Wow! Then I think then you should take off through New Year's. Then I mean, wow!
Yeah, I should.
And how many of the you have students? I would say kids, students that are in the class, the production class. Do they go through this gauntlet with you?
Yeah. So
wow!
Thankfully, this year we don't have a ton of. I don't think there's hardly any hockey games over Christmas break, but otherwise a lot of kids who are big into the production and stuff, they'll stay or come back early from Christmas break and help out with the hockey production. So, but thankfully I don't think we have.
That's dedicated to a cause. You mean I'm paying you a check every quarter and I got to go work? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, they get paid.
Oh, okay.
They get paid per game.
Wow, that's a commitment to a bit right there. You're like, just do whatever you want with me. I'm fine. Okay, wow, good weekend. Okay, so that gets you through Monday, and then, of course, we're in the holiday season. This is big for Bethany Lutheran College.
Yeah, totally. And then, next week is finals weeks for the kids, and then Christmas break starts Wednesday, Thursday.
So crazy kids all next week. Mm-hmm. Way to start. Hey, way to help your kids out. Yeah. Run them and work them really hard the week before finals. Nice call, Coach.
Yeah, great.
Really brilliant. I like that. Way to go, Bethany. That shouldn't. I see no problems with that.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. They'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just great. Really, come on. And then we'll have a Merry Christmas, that sort of thing. When do they come back? Do you know?
That first week of January. Right. Yep.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for coming on the program again.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, sooner or later we're going to have some bad news on this esports team. I'm sorry about the loss, but we'll get it back.
We'll get it back.
It should motivate these young chaps.
Most definitely.
All right. Thanks again for coming on, Coach.
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you next week. It's Umi and Pure Gold on KTOE. Let's do this. We've got news, sports, and weather right here at 1420. KTOE, it's 23 degrees, and it's 3:30.